Hello guys, my name is Maddie and this is my educational YouTube channel called Maddie's Tech Help, which is all about learning how to use the internet. And this channel is specially designed to keep those who are new to the internet in mind. Today's episode is going to be how to download your first app. And we're going to cover everything today, from how to get to the Play Store, how to make an account, downloading the app, and even how to get rid of the app if you don't want it anymore. Now, this video is specifically designed for Android devices. If you're unsure what I mean by that, there's two sure ways to tell. If you look at the back of your device and you see anything other than an Apple, chances are that you're running Android. The other way to tell is to see which of these two apps you have. The first is called the App Store, and it's blue and it has a white A on it, and it's called App Store. If you have this app, that means you have an Apple device. If you have a white app with a colorful triangle on it, that means you have the Google Play Store. If you have the Google Play Store, you're running Android. Now, for my folks who just discovered they have an Apple device, click up here. I do have a separate tutorial just for Apple devices because the two processes are just a little bit different. And I love to make these tutorials as specific and helpful as possible. And with that, let's jump right into the screen recording and get the downloading process started. Alright guys, our first step is going to be opening the Google Play Store. Now, many different types of devices run Android, so there's going to be a few different ways we can accomplish this. For this tablet in particular, the Google Play Store is located right here. It's docked right here at the bottom of the screen, but that's not going to be the case with all Android devices. Some devices you will have to go to the app section. The app section looks like this. The design varies on different devices, but one thing that's going to stay true is there's always going to be 9 little dots or squares. If you see something that looks like that, that's your app section. Just touch that and you'll be able to see all the apps on your device. Once you touch this symbol to open your app section, you can just swipe through the pages of apps until you find the Google Play Store. And finally, the third way to get to the App Store, some devices, is just simply swipe down and then you should see all your apps and you'll be able to scroll through and find it that way. Once you see the Play Store icon, you're just going to tap it and that will open it. And then we're going to hit the sign in button to sign into Google Play. And now we're going to use the Gmail account we made a few episodes ago to sign in here. If your email is from another provider, like Yahoo, you're going to have to create a Google account here. Gmail is one of Google's products, so when you make a Gmail account, you're technically making a Google account. So with that one account, you can sign in and use all of their products. So luckily for Gmail users, all you have to do is type in your email and password, and then you can sign in here. This is much easier than the Apple sign-in process, because with that you have to make a dedicated Apple ID regardless of what type of device you're using. With the Google Play Store, you can just simply use your Gmail to sign in. If you don't have a Gmail, you can refer to the first episode for guidance if you need it, and you'll start that process by hitting the Create Account button right here. Now we just type in our email and then hit Next. After we hit Next, we're just going to be taken to this screen where we tap the text box and then enter in our password, and then we'll hit Next again. And now we see that Omnipresent agreed to the terms and services screen that I promised we'd see more of. So we're just going to hit agree. That way we can use their services and wait for the next screen to load. Now it presents us with the option to use Google Drive. Google Drive is a free online storage service provided by Google. To configure whether we want our data backed up or not, you're just going to touch the little blue dot. If it's gray like that, you're saying no. If it's blue, you're saying yes. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick with the default and leave Google Drive enabled because I find their free storage very convenient. It's also a great place to store documents and pictures in case of an emergency, because when you store something locally to your device, whether it's a laptop or a mobile device, if something happens to that device, say it spontaneously catches on fire, you're going to lose all your pictures and data. But if you use a cloud storage service like Google, all your data is going to be backed up over the internet on some of Google's servers. What that essentially means is if something goes wrong with your device, then you can contact a certain spot of Google storage over the internet and get it back. It sounds complicated, but it's really not bad. The key information there is that you can always use your Google account, sign in, access your drive, and your files will always be there. If you put them in Drive, they're more thoroughly backed up and protected than if they were left on your device. It's just a nice safety net that I'd recommend. I plan on doing a future tutorial about Google Drive and how to save family photos and documents and things like that. But for now, we're just going to hit more to accept that service. Now we have to agree to the Google Play terms of service. We're going to hit accept again. That way we can download our apps. And now we have access to the App Store. As you see in the corner right there with that little M, we're signed in. And now we can just search for apps. There's two little categories. One is games and one is apps. Either's fine. And for today's demonstration, we're going to go ahead and download the Zoom app. So how you go about downloading Zoom or any other app is you simply touch the text box right beside the magnifying glass, and then it takes us to this space. And then we're going to type the name of our app, which for us is Zoom. And then we're going to hit this little green magnifying glass over here to enter in our search and look for the app. You can also use the microphone for apps. Simply tap the microphone and wait until it says speak now, and then say the name of your app. Then hit the little green magnifying glass. And now it shows us our results. And lucky for us, it's the first app to pop up. So you can either hit the little green install button, or if you want to learn more about the app before you download it, simply tap the name of the app and it will show us this page. And we can watch a video to see what the app looks like, scroll through some pictures to see how it works, and read reviews to get a better idea about the app and make sure it's the right one. Once you've flipped through the pictures and watched the videos and you're sure this is the app you want to download, you're going to hit the green install button. Now it's going to say pending. Notice the shield with the play button on it that says verified by Play Protect. This means that the app has been authenticated and that it is as advertised and that it's not a virus. Now that the app has been installed, we can simply hit open to open it from here. But what I recommend is going to all your apps, whichever button that is for you. For me, it's the square, but your individual device may vary. And then go ahead and close out of the Play Store. That way we're not using so many resources at once, because that can really slow down your device. I definitely recommend going through and closing out your apps every now and again. That way things just load faster. Now that we have installed the app, we're simply going to touch the icon that says Zoom to launch it, and then we'll wait for it to load. And now we can get into the app. Normally, most apps have a little tutorial like this where you can swipe through and learn more about it. When you're ready to go back, simply go to your All Apps button, and then you can close it, and then hit the circle button to go back to your screen. Once again, your buttons may vary depending on the device. And now, whenever you're ready to use Zoom or whatever apps you choose to download, you just have to look for their icon on your home screen and then touch them, and then you can open them wherever you like. There's millions of apps in the Google Play Store, so I definitely recommend exploring around and see what kind of apps seem like they would be good for you. Apps really expand on what your device can do and give you lots of new entertainment options. If you're not really sure where to get started, you can always check the top charts, and I personally like to go to top free, and you can scroll through and see what other people are downloading. There's tons of apps on the App Store, everything from coloring books to financial apps, investment apps, and even education apps where you can learn a new language. There's also millions of games you can go through too. So there's something out there for everybody, from solitaire to dragon slaying games. But say you download an app that you don't like. What's your next step? It's actually really easy. Say you get tired of using Zoom or you don't like it for some reason. You're simply going to hold down on the app and then drag it around with your finger and then hover over the uninstall button. And normally it'll prompt you to make sure you're sure. You're going to hit OK, and it's deleted as if it was never there. It's that easy. Now, some devices you're just going to hold down and then you'll see a delete option, but the process is going to be very, very similar to that across devices. And now that you know how to download your first app and delete apps you don't like, you have all the knowledge you need to access the millions of apps available on the Google Play Store. All right, and with that, we've finished the tutorial. You've learned everything from how to access the Google Play Store to how to delete apps once you've installed them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a fabulous day.